hammer on the point of...
The Empowering Women in Tech conference, organized by French Tech Lagos with the support of Mission French Tech, brings together female leaders and innovators for an important dialogue on diversity, leadership, and innovation in tech.
We have Lele, we have Kemi, Olajide.
This marks the first edition of what will become an annual event aimed at driving progress in gender equality, inclusivity, and the empowerment of women in the tech space. The statistics are sobering. The World Economic Forum estimates it will take 131 years to achieve full parity at the current rate. For women working in tech today, waiting more than a century is a timeline that feels far too long. But events like this are one part of the solution. In this room, there's a palpable sense of feminine energy and a shared resolve to change. The Consul General of France in Lagos speaks passionately about key areas of collaboration between France and Nigeria. His speech also touches on the need to set the balance right between men and women in the tech industry.
According to the 2023 report of the World Economic Forum on gender equality, Nigeria is ranked 130th out of 146 countries. This underscores the imperative for the continued fight or combat collective efforts to enhance gender equality and gender inclusivity.
The conference features two stimulating panel discussions. The first panel looks at how investments can act as a catalyst for gender equality and inclusion in tech, while the second shifts the focus to women's leadership in sustainable innovation, especially in driving social and environmental impact in Africa.
I think, the first thing is how do we expunge and change that mindset, that subconscious bias, how do we remove that, right? I think that's one of the key issues that we're seeing that, that starts from birth and, all the way through to when you're an adult and, you then have to be more conscious of how do you, sort of separate that thought process from what the reality is? Because, not including women in any sector, specifically tech, is leaving money on the table.
There's a lack of investment readiness in female-led startups, but I think that comes from the systemic issues that we're discussing, right? And I think that's where mentorship comes into play. That's where, when we think about tech, we often think about STEM jobs, right? But there's so much more to the tech ecosystem than just being an engineer or just being somebody who is in the science or tech aspect of it.
Now, one thing that the tech ecosystem could do to bolster the confidence which women could display in such rooms would be to send money their way. If a woman is sure that if I get into this industry, I get into this sector, there is some resources allocated for me, it would really, really bolster the confidence of a lot of women. It will send a signal.
Investors would definitely invest in those type of companies because data speak for themselves. They know that they will make more money where there's a women-led business, and they make those investments to make money. So they will go for the women. And my perspective is more like we need to start with education.
It's a conversation that highlights not just the importance of gender parity, but also how women are leading the charge in creating solutions for a more sustainable future. The commitment to gender parity from the French Tech Mission is clear, and the success of this inaugural conference sets the stage for future editions, which will aim to push the boundaries of inclusion and leadership in tech.